Hello adventurers! Today is my birthday and I got a little cabin in the woods for me and the pup. So we're having a little girls trip. Since sometime last year I've been feeling this it felt like the forest has been calling me and I yearn to be amongst the trees. So we are gonna go up to the Yosemite area and we are going to visit Yosemite National Park and Sequoia National Park. Since it's still pretty early in May, the upper levels of the parks are closed because of snow and ice, but totally fine. I'm gonna just check out the valleys. The cabin that I got is like 40 minutes east of Fresno, so we're gonna head out soon. I still have to pack and make a few stops along the way so I can pick up birthday freebies from restaurants. And then once we get to Fresno, I'm gonna stop by a Walmart out there to grab some groceries before heading to the cabin. That's it for now. I'm gonna go pack and then we are going to head out. Good morning, it's Friday and today we're heading to Yosemite. It's about 6 o'clock. The goal is to get to the park by 8. It should only take like an hour and a half. And just in case it's busy, I want to get there early because last Saturday people were waiting at the gate for like an hour, 2 hours to even get into the park. And then they had to shut down the parking lots because they were full. I already bought my entry ticket online. It's $35 to enter a national park. Then you could also buy a year-long pass for $70, which is a smart thing to do, especially since I'm going to 2 parks and I'm already paying $70. But the new cards have DJT's photo on them, and I refuse to have anything with a photo of that man on it. So I will happily pay per park. Yesterday we ended up getting here around 5:30. Everything is really cute. It's all working out well. I barely slept though. I think I went to bed at like 9. Fell asleep a little bit around 9:30 and then I woke up having a panic attack at like 10. So I took a Xanax and then I fell back asleep, but I did not stay asleep the whole night. I was just tossing and turning the entire time. I woke up again at 3 and then ended up just waking up a little after 5. Excited to see everything that the park has to offer. I have my sunscreen, and when I stopped at Walmart, I got bug spray because it is very, very buggy out here. As you saw in the little cabin overview, we have a spiral staircase to get upstairs, and Poppy hated that. So I had to like put her harness on and then like drag her up the stairs because she kept trying to jump off through like the spaces in the stairs. So yeah, that was a struggle, but she did go downstairs on her own. Kind of clumsily, but she did it. This cabin's actually in like a little neighborhood full of cabins. So it's not really remote at all. There are people all around us, which I actually don't mind. I would prefer to have neighbors to just being out on my own somewhere. All right, I'm gonna finish getting ready. Hi, Buzz. She's just wandering around. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know what to do. Hi, girl. Okay, so I'm gonna just finish getting ready and then we are going to head out. Saturday, 6 a.m. again. Yesterday was a nice day. I did end up getting to the park a little after 8, but it took me like less than 5 minutes to get in the gate. So, okay, first of all, the entire drive, the speed limit is like 35 to 55, and it's all windy, and there are animals everywhere. Like, there was a turkey, there were cows, and there was deer in the road. So it took me forever to get anywhere. Once you get into the park, there's a road that you take up to the village, and it's like 38 miles, I think. And again, the speed limit's like 35 and 25. So it took like an hour just to get from the entrance gate to the village. So I saw a sign around 9:30 when I got up there saying that the Curry Village parking was already full. So I parked at the Yosemite Village and I found a spot pretty easily. And then we did a little hike around the lower Yosemite Falls. Before that though, on the way to the village, we stopped at Tunnel View, which is like one of the most popular views, where you can see El Capitan, and Half Dome at the same time. And then there's also Bridalveil Falls, which is on the way to the village. So we stopped there, did a little hike, and then we went to the village. And then on the way out, it goes, okay, so it's like one road that goes, it's one-way roads that go to the village, and then another one-way road that goes out. So on the way out, we passed by El Capitan, and they have an area where you can park on the street. And then they have like viewing areas where you can walk out into the field and see El Capitan. And the mountain's huge. Like, it's just straight up and it's giant, and you can't really see anyone climbing it unless you have binoculars or zoom. So at first I didn't think there was anyone climbing, and then I used my camera, zoomed all the way in, and then kind of just like pointed it at random spots in the mountain. So I kept doing that until I found someone. So I did find a climber, but I guess there were more like up to the top as well. Other people who had binoculars saw it. And while it only took us like an hour and a half to get to the park in the morning, it took like 3 hours to get to the cabin, which was pretty brutal. But you know, whatever, we made it. And I did want to mention that, so like I said, the entrance into the park is $35 if you're a resident. If you're a non-resident, it's $100 to get into the national parks, which I think is crazy. Like, it's nature. Like, everyone should be able to access nature. You shouldn't have to pay an exorbitant amount of money just to get into a park. That's crazy. Anyways, I am headed to Sequoia National Forest today, and I thought that the Kings Canyon National Park was further like northeast, but I guess there is a section that actually does connect to Sequoia National Park, so I am gonna be able to hit up both today. It's gonna take me 2 hours to get there. The parks are open 24 hours, but then it said that the gate doesn't open until 9. But then other people are saying the gates are also open 24 hours. You just have to pay like at the visitor center. So I don't know, I'm probably gonna end up getting there around like 8:30. And I guess the park can also get full. I read that like the parking lot by the Giant Tree Museum can fill up by like 10 a.m. So hopefully I get there early enough, get parking. And unfortunately, these parks are not as dog friendly as Yosemite was, which is saying a lot because Yosemite wasn't even that dog friendly. So Poppy's just mainly gonna be in the car today. It's cool temperatures, so you know, of course, windows down, etc. And I'm not leaving her alone for very long. The main giant trees that I want to see, like the famous ones, are only like a quarter or half a mile from the parking lots. So I'm just gonna park, run to see the trees, come back, go to the next one, run to see the tree, and etc. etc. And that's the plan for today. I'm sad because I really wanted to see a bear, but I did not see any bears yesterday. But that's it for now. I'm gonna keep getting ready, eat my bagels, and then head on out. Just got back from Sequoia, and my camera is broken, so it has a screen that like flips up so you can do like selfies or see the video when you're recording it. So I can't see myself right now. It like, I don't know, the screen works normally when it's not up, so that's fun. I'm gonna need to get a new camera, which is okay because I've had this one for like 10 years and it's served me well, so it's fine. It's time for an upgrade. not excited because I got this camera for like $400, I think. And whatever camera I get next will not be $400. But I digress. So when you enter the Sequoia National Park through the south entrance, it takes like an hour before you actually see any sequoia trees. So you're just like weaving through the mountains until you see the trees. And once you do though, it's pretty crazy. Like you can't describe the scale of these things. Like you won't understand it until you see it in person. And it's wild how big they are. The biggest one was General Sherman, and it was 275 feet tall, which is insane. And then there's the second biggest one, which is General Grant. I don't know off the top of my head how tall that one was. I need to stop at the Giant Tree Museum and I learned some things. So I guess sequoias they can't grow under 5,000 feet elevation or over 7,000 feet elevation. So they can only grow like in between there. And then they're also only found on the east side of California, and the redwoods are on the west side of California, but they're skinnier than the sequoias. They also said that the average age of the trees are like 3,000 years old, which is insane. Like I can't even comprehend 3,000 years. So then once you go from the museum area and like the General Sherman area, it's quite a drive until you get to the Kings Canyon National Park. And once you get there, there is Grant Grove, which is where the General Grant tree is. And I actually really liked it because there were so many sequoias in that grove. I didn't see any bears, sadly. I saw a lot of deer though. There were some off of General's Highway, which is like the one road you take to go all the way through the parks. And then in Grant Grove, there were also a few deer just laying amongst the trees being cute. So when we left the Kings Canyon entrance, it ended up taking like an hour, 45 minutes for us to get back. I ended up getting there around 9:20, and I think I waited in line to get into the park for like maybe 5-10 minutes. And then the parking was filling up. So once I got to the museum, I left the museum around 11 maybe, like that area around 11, and it was already really full. And then getting to the General Sherman tree was also filling up. When I was leaving, they had to like park in overflow parking is what I saw. So that's pretty crazy that like you really have to get there bright and early if you want to like have an easy go of it and not be stressed about like traffic and parking and stuff. Oh, let me show you the pins that I got. So this is the pin that I got from Yosemite. I have no idea if you can see this because, like I said, camera broke. This is the Sequoia pin. And then this is the Kings Canyon pin. It's the Milky Way series, so it's like nighttime with like the Milky Way on it. It's kind of hard to read it or see it, but that's that. So I'm gonna call it here. I think that for any of like the smaller events and stuff I do, I'm going to only upload them as shorts. And I hate making short form content, but I feel like that's where things are moving towards. I have an event coming up next weekend, and then I'm also working Pride in a couple of weeks. So like those will be uploaded as shorts. This or like longer travel videos will be full length videos. I think that's the plan for now. So keep an eye on the shorts. It's been a good little birthday weekend, but I'm ready to get back to the city with straight roads and ample food options and way less bugs. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.